Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8 and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. Instacash, a new terminal game from the National Lotteries Authority. It's fast, easy to play. There's no waiting for a draw, and you can win instantly. Purchase your tickets from any lotto terminal and win lots of cash prizes. There's the game Cash Stash, available at $2, and bingo tickets for $3, where you can win on the spot. Instacash, fast, easy to play, and you can win instantly.
To the 150th edition of Roundtable Talk. As you can tell by the uniforms, we're having a talk with the police today. It's all about crime here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Joining us for this talk, we have the Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for crime, Trevor Bailey, and we also have Superintendent of Police, the person who is also in charge of the Police Public Relations Department, SOP Junior Simmons. Welcome, gentlemen, to the program.
Thank you, ma'am.
So great to have you, and it's also great to be back in studio again after a short absence.
Yes, thank you very much, Teresa. Yes, happy to be here.
Great.
Yes.
So we are basically a hotbed these days. It's week number 7 for the year, and already we have had 7 homicides. If we look at it, we'd say 1 homicide per week for the year so far. Let's start by giving us a synopsis of the situation where crime is concerned as of today, Wednesday 21st, 2024, ACP.
Right, so good afternoon again. And it's good to be at the round table for the first time. So
I hope it's not your last either.
as mentioned earlier, we are at count number 7 of the 7 homicides. 7 murders that we have had for the year thus far. 4 are firearms related. 2 are stab wounds and 1 trap. So we had 7. You put it as 1 per week.
It works out to that.
It works out to that. But if we were to hold that trend, that would not be good news for us here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It means that you're putting me back at 52, and we are working towards reducing that number from last year significantly. We are going to employ a lot of different strategies. There are things that we're gonna do to ensure that we stay as far as practicable away from that 52 number. That is not one of my favorite number at this time. But we some areas of concern early in the year. The issue of predatory larceny continues to plague us. And from the onset, I would like to make an appeal to persons here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who have the tendency to purchase items from persons who are selling who does not present to them any sort of identification, be it a national identification card or even your farmer's identification card. Persons who sell goods should have their farmer's ID card. The Act speaks of time of purchase, so persons should not be buying goods, whether agriculture produce or even animals, after 7 p.m. from anyone. And even you're making a legitimate purchase during the day, receipt's supposed to be issued. So if I'm selling you, Teresa, my ram sheep, and I am already a farmer, so if I'm selling your sheep, I should be able to, I am mandated to be issuing your receipt of your purchase, stating my name, address clearly, and my farmer's ID and so forth, numbers. That should be on the receipt, so that if in your travel you encounter the police, you can legitimately present to the police a receipt authenticating your purchase of an animal. And pretty often we have persons who are still engaged in the purchasing of meat in bucket, or somebody shows up at their business place and there's a carcass in a double garbage bag, and you see they seize on the opportunity to purchase because the seller then may be offering at a lower rate than they will normally buy from the shops, the legitimate farmers or the meat shop. So people seize the opportunity to save a few dollars at the expense of our hard-working farmers.
So it would appear that predatory larceny has always been of major concern here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think I read somewhere in the news today that the Ministry of Agriculture plans to work with the police to deal with the issue, and there's a program that they would shortly be engaging on to manage the issue. So we'll definitely come back to that because I don't know how aware those that the people who actually buy stuff from people who in fact acquire them illegally, how much they know, what they should do, what actions they should take. So we'll definitely come back and talk about that later on, certainly before the program ends, because it is a serious concern. SOP Simmons, from where you sit, what would you say? How do you see the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the moment?
Okay, thank you very much, Teresa, and it's a pleasure being here with you, and good evening to the viewers of the Roundtable Talk. Crime is a vexing issue for us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We would have wished that 2024 would have started off with 0 homicides, but that's not the case right now. So the police, we are very, very concerned with the current state. And so the Commissioner of Police, we sat down, the senior officers, and we came up with strategies to really counter the current crimes that are taking place. And, we are confident, Teresa, that the strategies that we are employing in collaboration with the cooperation from the public, the residents, in the different communities, that we will be able to really put a stronger handle on the crime situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because you're aware and the public is aware that crime fighting is not only the police responsibility; it takes everybody. Crime prevention is a shared responsibility, and so we are really doing the bulwark of part of it, but we are asking the public to really support us, and not just support us, but also try and deal with your grievances, in a more friendly, loving, amicable way, because when you respond with violence and anger, then that can lead to a murder. It can lead to someone being maimed and injured and so forth. So really, in order for there to be a serious reduction in crime in Simmons and Grenadines, there needs to be a behavioral change. And it must start with me, you. It must start with the individual. That's where it starts, and once it starts there, then it boomerangs and it expands throughout the country. And Simmons and Grenadines is a peaceful country. Peaceful. It has been like that, for all these years, and we want it to remain that way. So we are calling on our citizens to be more loving, more kind, more understanding, and do not take, take the justice into their own hands. We don't want any vigilante justice. Someone wrong you report it to the police, and we will deal with that.
You mentioned we actually had 52 homicides last year, so that actually works out to 1 per week, yeah?
And that's why I said earlier, that's not a number that I want to be associated with.
I actually just...
Right, but if I may, family, that institution, the family, there seems to be a breakdown in the family structures, and from time to time we engage in conversation with communities, and you hear that, sad to say, the fathers are absent from the home. And the absence of that father figure, where a teenage boy or boys are present, the love, the attention and the care that should be given at home, because the father is absent, he seeks that from the block. And the so-called leaders of the block or the gangs is now the father figure. And the love that is sought at home, that is lacking, is given there. So you will find that our young boys, their loyalty is to the gang leader. Their loyalty is to the friends on the block who they consider their brother. And sometimes blind loyalty, you do acts of violence to demonstrate your loyalty to the group. So we from a police point of view, we're saying to the fathers that responsibility of yours should really be shouldered. And you need to, I'm not saying that you must go and make up with your loved one, because I don't know what is the cause. But your children should always be your children, and you should always provide that love and security and have that conversation. I find that families are not having the kind of conversation that parents need to have with their kids. There's nothing wrong with a mother having a conversation with her daughter in respect to sex, because if it is not had with the mother, it will be the conversation will be had in school, and the wrong advice may be given. So a mother should be able to have that conversation with her daughter. A father should have it with his son.
Okay, so you spoke about the role of the family and the whole question of communication. SOP, you spoke about the need for behavior change.
Yes.
We will talk some more about these things when we come back from our first break. Back in just a moment.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Before we took our first break, you guys were talking about, well, in one instance, Superintendent Simmons, you were talking about the whole question of the need for behavioral change, while the ACP spoke about the role of the fathers, the role of family. What role can the police play in helping to effect change in both of these areas? Where does the police come in?
Yes, that's a very good question, Theresa. And to continue from where it really left off, as police officers, we are not just here to enforce the law, but we are here to mentor, to guide, to counsel. We perform various functions and duties as police officers. So we have embarked on some strategic programs to help in nurturing the young people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Correct.
So I will start off with the police youth clubs. Currently, there are 31 police youth clubs across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, from Fancy to Richmond, from Beckway to Union Island. And we are using these youth clubs, as our motto says, to nurture the minds of our nation's most valuable resources. they are the young people of this country. And when someone joins the youth club, they're exposed to a myriad, different opportunities, training, discipline, and they're taught how to be responsible young people, both boys and girls, and they can join these clubs from the age of 8 years up to just under 18 years. After 18 years, they become associate members. So this is just one of the programs that we have in place to help to guide our young people along the right pathway.
Would you say that has been helping? Have you seen any of the kids who have been involved in these programs getting in any sort of trouble?
No, this has been a very effective program, Theresa. And from our assessment and analysis, no one who have ever been a member or currently a member of those clubs, have been arrested or charged for any offences. They have never came to the notice of the police in a negative way. So from that, we believe that this program is really creating an impact, positive impact on the lives of our young people.
Somebody's asking, are these police youth clubs used to recruit boys and girls to the police force?
Yes. So they also, that's a pool from which we can recruit our officers. Because of the training that they receive over the years, they would be prime candidates to become police officers. Not only that, when you're a member of the police youth club, there are several benefits. You'll be given a scholarship. The most outstanding students at the CPA, who's a member, they would receive the Sergeant Chambers scholarship to attend secondary school and A-level college. So there are several benefits there, in addition to possible being recruited to join the police force. We also assist other club members as well with school books, uniforms, and other supplies to attend secondary school. But there's also our summer programs. Mm-hmm. We have the largest summer program in Simmons and Grenadines on a yearly basis. The police band summer program, the Coast Guard summer program, the police youth clubs summer program and summer camp, the anti-trafficking persons unit summer program. So all of these programs combined help to develop and inculcate into our young people positive vibes, because we rather for them to channel their energies positively than being led astray to do nefarious and devious things. So that is the softer side of the police, the social side. Because as I said before, we do many different things, not just law enforcement, and we can't deal with every situation the same way. And so currently, we notice that our young people, some of them are being influenced negatively. So that's why we have these programs to really try and steer them, in that right direction. And we are calling on the parents and other family members to really support us, in this regard, because they are making a positive impact on young people.
Okay. Someone was saying that, you did mention a mentorship program as well, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, the Stars Police Youth Club, last year, they launched a male-to-male mentorship program. And on the 8th of March, we'll be launching another female-to-female mentorship program.
Okay.
These programs, they're very impactful. Very impactful on young people.
A couple of questions for you guys before we go any further. With the summer program, do the police look for the community help? Would that meaning teachers, nurses, and community activists? to get involved. And someone is asking, what is community policing and how can it assist in curbing the crime situation? So those are two things there for you.
Right. Okay. Right. So to answer the first question, when we're hosting the summer programs, we bring in experts from different fields, not just police officers, but social workers, teachers, other experts to do presentations to the children. Presentation on self-esteem, on mentorship, discipline, a whole gamut of activities, so that at the end of the day or end of the program, they'll be well-rounded students and young people. So we work along with civil society and also the public and private sector when we're hosting these summer programs.
Okay.
Right, so I recall last year being present at Coast Guard when their summer program was taking place, and students were taught how to do some tie-dyeing.
Yes.
And at the end of the program, they were able to display the product that they at the end of it, how they were able to tie-dye their own clothing, so learning takes place. The superintendent speaks of the softer side of the policing, because it's not always the rough and tumble. There's so much we do on the softer side. We go into the schools. The sexual offences unit last year would have conducted in excess of over 25 presentations, primary and secondary schools. Youth groups, to the churches, we engage civil society in a conversation. And yes, the superintendent spoke of the behavioral change. If we do not engage our young people and show them that policing is not just about enforcing the laws of Simmons and Grannies, but we also teach what is expected, what is the expected behavior pattern that society expects our young ones to behave. And that is very important. I had the opportunity this afternoon to speak to 4 boys from the Marcus Secondary School. And I brought to their attention their hairstyle. In fact, one of them told me 4 years now, he have not cut to the top of his hair. All he does is do a little fading on the side. So I said, but why? He said, that's my strength. My hair is my strength, and the girls will not love me without my hair. Now that caused me to dig deeper. And I noticed he was wearing a Clarks. So I said, well, you're wearing a rather interesting shoe. He said, $600. He said, but I have never purchased a shoe for $600. And he engaged me, say, officer, because you old. This is the modern time. So then I inquired as to the family. Mommy alone. And is there other siblings? There are other siblings. And as the conversation get deeper, he said some things that I don't wish to share here, but there are other things that is happening for him to maintain that lifestyle at this tender age. And so we exchange numbers, and he's supposed to get back to me, or if he doesn't, I'm going to find him, because we will need to expand on the conversation that we started earlier today. Yeah. So that is just an example where they committed a traffic violation. They were actually driving. The traffic department brought them in, and I just happened to join the conversation. But clearly, our young people need to be pointed in the right direction. And it is a joint responsibility of the police, the church, the family, civil society, the whole adage of the community to raise a child. If ever it needs prominence, is now, because we are seeing that it is pretty easy for them to lose focus. And this device that you and I were probably not exposed to until at a later stage, but pretty early they are exposed to it. And the capabilities of the devices. You know, we could very well find that they're researching along the lines that they ought not to be researching at this time. And they use it sometimes for the wrong reason. So we have to show and guide along the path, so we can't leave it up just to the household alone.
So if I can go back to the question on community policing, can I? Okay, right. So community policing is a philosophy or branch of policing where the police walk along very close with communities to make them safer. And that is what we are doing right now, currently in Simmons and Grenadines. We are improving and upping our game when it comes to community policing. Last year, we really, started the effort and the drive, where we went into the community of Diamond. We had a wonderful walkthrough. We spoke to the residents, and then we had a concert. The police band was there. They entertained the people, and so forth. And we continued in 2024. So far for this year, we have had walkabouts in Rose Place, Paul's Avenue, because we targeted these areas because of the kind of activities that were going on there. Because of the spike in crimes in those areas, we decided that the hierarchy, the commissioner and his hierarchy would go through those areas, meet the residents, talk to them, let them know what we're doing to fight crime, and also to hear from them as to how we can work better to make them safer. And I can tell you that these walkabouts and town hall meetings, they have been very, very informative and effective. I don't know if you want me to go through to speak about them at this stage.
Yeah, no. Before you do that, we've been getting a lot of interaction. So let me give you some so you can also respond to them.
Sure.
Somebody wants to know, how does the police deal with truancy among school children? And there's a suggestion. The police need help. Train interested persons. Have them go through the regular process, but they do not have to be full-time officers. The police force can use the extra manpower when necessary. We can refer to them as volunteer officers. Do the police make themselves visible in the so-called problem neighborhood and try to develop a relationship with the problem kids? But I think your example a short while ago clearly indicates that doesn't fact happen. And then somebody else is asking, with the summer program, let's say one of those kids misbehave, who does the parents reach out to assist so that we don't lose this child? So a mouthful there.
Okay. All right. So Billy, you.
Right. So if a child misbehaves, let's say on the summer camp, obviously we will not move towards, let's say, arrest. We have to engage the parents. We'll have dialogue. Because if it's a misunderstanding, let's say, between two kids, parents brought in police, we sit down and we get to the root of the issue and we trash it out. 2 weeks ago, an incident occurred at a secondary school, a very serious incident, where physical injury was sustained and property was lost. Parents for the children were involved, the head teacher, the police, and meeting was held, and the matter came to a resolution. Outside of the school setting, persons would have been looking at 15 to 20 years in prison for that kind of behavior. So, again, the example is used to show that it is not all about enforcement, but police do softer side work, and we do counseling, and we do look for other avenues. We do diversion. So even though that we like to see the diversion program expand, where we avoid criminalizing our youth at an early age, but if they do infringe on the law, we can do some diversion and have them do community service, or we can make it mandatory for them to do, let's say, 6 months auto mechanic work at a Droid garage, and then point them in a direction other than the penal system. These are things that we do, and we're hoping to see that in this year and in the coming years that the program will expand.
Teresa, ironically, the senior officers met today. It was one of our longest meetings.
Okay.
We finished almost 4 o'clock. And, there was a robust debate on the issue of diversion. And I'm getting to the question on truancy in school. Now, currently, there are truancy officers in the Ministry of Education, whose role is primarily to deal with students, who have behavioral problems. And they also work along with the police, in dealing with these issues. So, as the ACP alluded to earlier on, about the incident that happened at the particular school, we can't criminalize young people for everything, because if we do that, then we'd have a nation of criminals. So we must seek, along with other stakeholders, alternative punishments and sentencing, so that if a child or student makes a mistake, then they can learn from it, and they can grow up to be responsible citizens later on. We have to do everything that we can to really help them not to really fall into that deep or dark hole. But they also have a responsibility,
Sure,
as well, to be law-abiding, to be respectful and responsible. Because if they don't do that, then it is very likely that they can find themselves in conflict with the law.
Okay, we have to take another break, but we're getting quite a bit of interactions. This question is for ACP Bailey. With the police knowing the gang leader and leaders in the community and villages, what plans do the RSVG PF have to disband them? Somebody also is asking if the DARE program is still in effect, and a suggestion: send out what I refer to as peace officers when a unit goes on patrol. Now this officer can be the one whose role is solely to de-escalate any potential unnecessary tension that may arise. This officer doesn't need a specific rank, just one where even the leader of a team should listen. This is important because sometimes a leader may fail in certain moments to have proper judgment. And there's also a question about whether the police is trained in counseling. Another mouthful, but we'll get some responses to that and then take a break and come right back. Or you want us to take the break and
we'll take a break and come back.
Okay, we'll take a second break and come right back.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Play for.
Here's your chance to win even more from the National Lotteries Authority when you play for 2 times daily. Choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9 and you can win up to $5,000 with a $1 inline bet.
Mix 4 and back it up too. That's right. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you.
Get your tickets Monday to Saturday for the Play 4 midday draw at 1:50 p.m. and the Play 4 night draw 9 p.m. So easy to play.
Play 4, you'll win even more.
Welcome back. Well, you guys have quite a bit before we took the break, so I don't know who wants to go first.
All right, so I'm going to deal with the issue of the DARE program and counseling. Now, the DARE program, Theresa and our listeners, it's a very effective program where police officers would go into our schools and sensitize and raise awareness about the dangers of illegal drugs and so forth to our students. This program is currently going through some reforms. It is not currently being taught in the school because we have went back to the drawing board, so to speak, and we are seeking ways to improve the program. So in the very near future, we will be rolling out this program in a new and innovative way, because we are living in the 21st century, and we have to do things in a more modern way. So that is what we are seeking to do with the DARE program. With regards to counseling, there are many police officers who have received training in counseling from the tertiary level, so to speak. We have persons with degrees who would have done some counseling as well. We have several pastors who are police officers, who are trained counselors. So whenever we are dealing with certain types of suspects, we utilize the services of these police officers, in addition to our police chaplain, because we have a police chaplain. His name is Pastor Adolphus Isaacs. He's also a trained counselor as well. So, and counseling is very important in dealing with people who are in conflict with the law, because we realize that for some of these persons, if they would have received counseling at an early age, then they would have been different individuals today. And again, we see the issue of behavioral change coming back. So when we realize that something is not right, and even police officers, among us, they also would display certain attitudes from time to time. And we'd also, then we would bring in counselors to assist them, because police officers are human beings as well. I mean, some people believe that we don't feel, we don't cry, and so forth, we don't hurt, but we hurt, we cry. And we also need counseling at times, because the job is not an easy one. It's a tough job. And at the end of the day, sometimes, we are tired, we are worn, and, we need somebody to talk to us. Well, yes, we have our families, but, sometimes we need a professional person, trained person in a certain field to really talk to us. I mean, to really calm us down.
Okay, so I think one of the questions I was asked is about the disbandment of the gang leaders. Right, so again, the behavioral change that the Superintendent Simmons spoke of is what we work towards, influencing a behavioral change in our young men. If there's no gang, then there's no need for a gang leader. If he doesn't have a gang, there's no one for him to lead. Hence the reason why we are engaging school visits. And we go pretty often to schools that we have identified as school that has particular challenges. And we speak at the assembly. And sometimes you go there and the head teacher will go there at the request of the school. And sometimes he show up. I showed up at a particular school. The commissioner asked me to go and speak to a few boys. And when I got there, a few was actually in excess of 40, a whole class. And they had varying issues, from drugs, and violence, sex, being unruly and disrespectful to teachers. Several sessions had to be had with the boys. I'm not sure if I can say that we were able to follow right through, because, the intervention was done at a time when they were almost out of school. They were preparing to leave school to do external exams. But the teacher was concerned that, that window that they go, when they normally go home to prepare themselves, that nothing was going to be done because of what they were displaying in school. So, being able to identify the issues early, sometimes, and most of the time, not sometimes, but most of the time, we as police officers, we come in on the back end, because it's not until, let's say, maybe when an offense has been committed, that individual would have come to the notice of the police. But the institution, the school, would have seen that behavior pattern for a number of years. But sometimes the assistance is never sought of the police. So, again, I throw the appeal out to the head teachers of the institutions. The police force is not here just to arrest and take people through the court, but we do the softer side of policing as well. We do a lot of preventative work, and we do counseling. And if we are brought into the whole loop earlier, we can do so much more. So don't just see us as the enforcers, but see us as a partner in the whole scope of things.
Okay,
there is on the issue of matter of de-escalation. That's a great point that the viewer or the listener brought up. As police officers, we have to also be de-escalators of situations. But from my vantage point, I think there are too many instances where members of the public, they're literally fighting with the police whenever the police engages them. And, that is not really the right approach. If a police officer stops you and they declare the office, they say who they are, they want to conduct a search on you, then your duty is to comply with the police officer. Not to fight with the police officer, because if you use force, then the police would retort and use the force that is necessary to bring you under control. And you're aware of two recent incidents,
yes.
One in Choppins and the other one at Massey's supermarket, where the police, exercise great restraint. Those incidences. And I think the police must be commended, because they're there. So, yes, at times, we may step out of line, because we are not perfect as police officers. But I'm calling on the public, responsible persons, to respect the law, respect police officers. We also have to respect the citizens as well, because respect is earned. We cannot demand respect. We have to earn it from the public. And as we say locally, respect is a two-way street. You give respect, you get respect. So going forward, we would respect the citizens, and likewise we want them to also show us respect. Let us live in harmony. Not because we are known as law enforcement officers that it will be us against them. No, our country is too small for that. We have to live together in peace and in harmony as law-abiding citizens.
Okay, I'm going to read some more comments, and we'll take a break after that, because I want to talk about the gun amnesty program
Yes.
that you are about to implement, and also talk a little bit more about the types of crimes that we are seeing. Yeah, so somebody's saying that poverty plays a major role in the culture of gangs and crime. Someone else is saying the police cannot do it alone. They need the support of the public. It's our business to help to protect ourselves too. Somebody's saying teachers should be mandatory reporters, and the Ministry of Education should implement training programs to protect, for the teachers, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so there were some other things. What is done to temper the attitude of the young, inexperienced police officers and the senior police officers assigned to lead them? And there are some also with the traffic, and we haven't even touched the traffic. Probably could do a whole program on that particular area.
Yes.
Okay, sometimes I think that the police is soft on some of those who want to fight, but I understand the attempt at de-escalation. We'll take a final break and come right back.
Is it over? 2 hours we have, right? We really need to spend a little time on the gun amnesty.
welcome back. One of the big things I know that you have planned is the implementation of a gun amnesty program. What would it entail? What do you hope to achieve? And are there any other plans in place should this particular strategy not work out? Yeah?
Right. So the Royal Simmons and the Grenadines Police Force will be embarking on a gun amnesty commencing March 1st, and it will run to May 31st. So that's a 92-day period. Now, the aim or the objective of this amnesty is to increase public safety, citizen security, and to rid the streets of the illegal firearms. Now, the last time we attempted a gun amnesty in St. Vincent and the Grenadines would have been way back in February of 2003.
Yes.
And it ran from February 1st to...
So that was 21 years ago?
21 years ago. It ran from February 1st to June 30th. There was, I think, a 1-month extension. During that period, some 19 firearms were handed in. During that period as well, the only agent who were collecting firearms were the police. Now, some persons may have been skeptical as to whether or not he or she can hand in a firearm to the police and really trust the police to say, well, I'm going to give you a firearm and then I'm going to turn my back and just walk away without being arrested. This time around, the hierarchy of the police force met and decided that we will have some partners in this amnesty. So, ministers of religion, justice of the peace, head teachers, the firearm dealers, lawyers, politicians and parliamentarians are all agents. So any person who wishes to hand over a firearm, you can do so to the police, you can do so at any police station, or any of the agents that I just mentioned, the politicians, the parliamentarians, the lawyers, the head teachers, the justice of the peace, ministers of religion. You can hand the weapon to them, and they know how to get it to the police. We made arrangements. Now, we form out of the amnesty is a no question asked amnesty. Meaning that the police, we're not collecting any data. So we're not recording your name, we're not recording any address, we're not asking you how long you had the weapon, where you got it from, or what you... It's a no question asked. So you decide to turn the firearm in, we take the firearm, we say thank you, have a good day, and you're out of there. We're not paying for the weapons. So it's a no buyback as well. It is, and we have had some discussion on the issue. Teresa, some persons asked, well, if a firearm was used in the commission of an offense and it is handed in, how will you know, or what will you do? And we're saying categorically that we will not be doing any sort of forensic testing on these firearms. So if anyone has any apprehension that is going to happen, we are saying categorically, we will not be doing any sort of forensic analysis on the firearms that are handed in. We see the effects of the illegal firearms on the street. We saw on July 19th, St. Vincent and Grenadines experienced what it never had before. We lost 5 of our citizens during one shooting incident in the heart of Kingston. Instructively, when the police processed that crime scene, we saw that different firearms were used, and assault-like weapons were used on that crime scene. So it is telling us that there are some very dangerous weapons on the streets of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that should really be carried only by responsible agents, police. You know, we are the ones who are charged with the responsibility of national security. We are the ones who are charged with the responsibility of citizens and visitors alike. And in the event that St. Vincent goes to war, it is the police who is expected to lead a charge. So there is no need for our citizens to be carrying those assault-type weapons. We feel the effect of them. We see what it does to our community. It shows the community in disarray. It makes our people fearful. In one of our town hall meetings, a lady exclaimed, clearly, she was fearful to leave her house even to go and worship her God. At 6 o'clock, the citizens in that area were imposing curfew on themselves. The state did not declare any curfew. But the residents put themselves under curfew. And all this is the effect of firearms in our society. So during this period, March 1st to May 31st, we asking persons to hand in their firearm. Again, it's a no question asked. There will be no repercussions. No one will be arrested. I call on family members. If you know that you have a family member, a son, a brother, a cousin, or uncle, or aunt, or sister who has in their possession a firearm, I encourage you to encourage them to hand that weapon over to the police or any of the agents. Let us all work towards a more peaceful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines that we boast of being the gem of the Antilles, a safe place. We can get back to the glory days when persons would have left their house unsecure without locking the door and go to the mountains and say to the neighbor, if rain come down, pick up the clothes and throw them in the big chair, because the house door was left open. And we were not fearful of anybody would have entering and removing properties. I grew up in that era, and I see no reason why we can't get back to those days. So we really asking the general public to partner with us. Let us rid the streets of these firearms. And you asked a very important question, what will happen after this period? Now, we are a country of laws, and as far back as you go, the Bible says that you must obey the laws of the land. Even back then, they had laws. I'm not a biblical scholar. My colleague is a pastor, but they operated then on the premise of an eye for an eye. Now we have moved from the eye to eye, and we got forgiveness through the shedding of Jesus' blood.
Yes, we have moved to grace.
And indeed. So the police is extending that olive leaf. We were saying that handing the firearm. Because if you're caught with a firearm after May 31st, there's some draft legislation that should be going to the Parliament pretty soon that increases the fine and the sentence significantly. So at the magistrate level, we're moving.
Significant is significant.
Well, we're moving from the magistrate level from 7 years, and you're looking at up to 10 years. And we're looking at fines up to $30,000. And before we didn't have laws governing trafficking in arms. But if you are found with 2 or more weapons, you could be charged for trafficking, and we're looking at fines up to $250,000 or 30 years in prison. So you'll see from that the authorities are serious about the illegal firearms, and we really need to, as a people, band together and do this one for all of us. So again, I appeal to persons to hand in the firearms. The police will be engaged in a walkthrough tomorrow in Chateaubriand, and then a town hall meeting, and then we also going to have one the following Thursday in the Otley Hall, Edinburgh area. Later this week, and continuing, you will hear amplified songs. Police will be going around in the different communities and speaking about the amnesty and encouraging people to hand in their firearm. We will up our calls and then the different radio stations and so forth. Because we really want to at the end of the period, to report back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to say thanks to persons who would have adhered to the call that was put out, and report that we have had a very successful amnesty, and know that the streets are safer as a result of the firearms that are handed over.
And what would you consider successful?
Well, I consider the last amnesty in 2003 a success, because that yielded 19 firearms.
Yeah.
I am hopeful and I'm optimistic that we will yield much more than the 19 this time around.
21 years later.
21 years later. So I don't want to say that a figure of X will be nice. One firearm can do a lot of damage. One wrong can take out more than one person. So, having said that though, the more firearms we rid the streets of, the safer our streets are for all of us.
Okay, we've sort of run out of time now.
Wow.
I know this hour really goes really quickly.
Yes.
Wanted to come back to the whole question of prayer last name, because I think people really need to know, the community needs to know and understand what role they have to play in helping to alleviate the situation. So maybe before you go, you can remind people
Right,
again.
in 2 minutes. If people steal animals
Or plants
or even
food or
agricultural produce, they do so with the intent to benefit. So they need a market, they need someone to sell to. So if we do not buy, it means that we're not encouraging the habit. So if the thieves don't have a market, then they can't supply. So I appeal to my people, Simmons and the Grenadines, let us not encourage the stealing by purchasing from these persons who we know are not farmers, who, when somebody who operates a rental service rents a vehicle and the vehicle is returned, and your vehicle smells like the meat market because you know animals were transported in your vehicle, why should you just clean your vehicle? You should really be bringing this to the attention of the police to say, I mean, I rented my vehicle and X had my vehicle. Obviously, I need to have a conversation with you because what I'm seeing. And by doing that, you're not putting yourself out of business. You are being responsible, a responsible citizen, and more people will rent, other than those bad guys, will come and rent your vehicle because they know that your company is not associated with any assistance of crime. Yeah? So, thank you very much for having me, Ms. Daniel.
And thank you guys very much for a really, really good program, I think. Somebody's asking if there are any plans for all police officers to carry firearms. And somebody else is saying arrest the buyer as well and charge them for receiving stolen goods.
Okay.
Great.
Theresa, in wrapping up, I just want to thank you for hosting us. I thank my colleague, ACP Bailey, for being here as well. Like him, I believe that the amnesty would be very, very successful. We would be partnering with the telecommunication companies to help getting our message out there by sending out blasts and so forth, informing the public about the amnesty. But in closing, I want to remind every citizen, every boy and girl, that they too have a responsibility in their safety and their protection. And working with the police, would benefit the entire society. As I said before, we are increasing or improving our community policing strategy. Therefore, we want the public to walk along with us. We are going to revive those neighborhood watch groups, neighborhood watchers that have gone dormant. We are going to form new clubs in different communities. We also have the Pan Against Crime initiative, where our police officers go into the schools and teach the students how to play pan. As a matter of fact, we just recently purchased 2 new steel pan sites from Trinidad and Tobago. They are currently on the ground here. So we will be really improving and increasing that. On March the 3rd, we have a Pan Against Crime concert, the 16th anniversary concert in South Rivers. And we invited the public to come out and support us. And we will be going throughout the country, with these concerts, because we believe that the instrument of pan, is a very important tool that we can use to help our young people to develop positively and to stay clear from in life of crime. And we have been seeing that. So, as I conclude, I want to thank the public for the support, and we are calling on those persons who are on the sidelines, who are thinking twice about supporting the police, to come on board, because we need your support. Everybody needs to play their part. So thank you very much.
Well, I think that's a perfect note on which to end this 150th edition of Roundtable Talk. A very special thank you, ACP Bailey and SOP Simmons. Thank you guys, and I'm pretty sure that you will sit at the round table probably after the amnesty has come and gone.
And report back.
And report back.
And
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely.
Thank you.
That's all for this evening. See you again next week, Wednesday, for another edition of Roundtable Talk. Good evening. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger